This is Copilots, the podcast where we watch not just the first episode of a show,
but also the second. Some shows just don't have the best pilot episode, and giving it that second chance might just sway your mind.
Here, we take that chance for you, and let you know our opinions on if it deserves more than one shot.
I'm Hunter. Alongside me is my co-pilot, Chris. Now let's get ready for takeoff. Your in-flight entertainment this week will be My Bank and Credit Card Fraud.
By
itsevanwilliams. We have Season 1, Episode 1, My Bank with Credit Card Fraud.
It first aired on December 10th, 2020. So a pretty new show.
I think that's also the day that the show was actually, recorded.
Really?
At least that's what I have in my notes. Yeah, that's the day it takes place.
Okay, that's neat.
Yeah.
Now, the show opens with, it opens on the title card, which I think... I'm not sure if I like that, honestly.
Oh no, I think the episode skips all the boring lead up that shows do nowadays. So instead of just having a title card with music, it's the actor. It kind of looks like a Saturday Night Live skit with the title card being over the actor before the actor starts acting. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I guess, but especially if you have a pilot, right? So this is the first episode. Yeah. It has to sell us on the series, or more importantly, pilots also normally sell network television on series, right?
Yeah.
So you want a pilot to be as much actual plot show meat and potatoes as you can, right? Which is why normally on pilots the title card is at the end or part of the end credits, right?
Yeah, I get that.
And then from the second episode onward, it's the first 3 minutes, theme song, title card sting, first commercial break for a regularly formatted show for television, right?
Yeah, but they drop the title card, but also they say the name of the episode right there, right off the gate. So if they wouldn't have included the title card, I feel like it would have been a little weird.
True, and it's not even so much a title card because it doesn't cut away from the action. It's over the lower third of the scene while the scene happens behind it.
Actually, as a matter of fact, the entirety of this episode has subtitles. You don't have to turn on your subtitles. It just has subtitles, which is nice for those people who are hard of hearing.
Yeah, the members of the deaf community.
Yes.
That kind of thing. Which, I agree. And I mean, I'm a little biased, but the shade of blue that they used for the title card is, my second favorite color.
Very nice shade of blue.
Excellent shade of blue.
But it opens up with an unnamed BB&T credit card fraud department worker excitingly calling a character named Mr. Williams about his $8 Dwayne Reed purchase in downtown LA at 2 p.m.
Now, I refer to him as Fraud Protection Man. For the rest of my notes, and that's what I'll refer to him as.
See, we don't get any pronouns for the fraud detection worker, so I was just referred to them as the worker.
You see, Mr. Williams at one point goes, man to him, oh my god, man, don't do that, man.
I didn't catch
episode. That. Yeah, so I mean, I just did what Mr.
Williams said. I think you're talking about in the second episode when he's talking about the... Okay.
No future spoilers.
Because I didn't see a comma there, okay. You know what I'm saying? To refer to, as a name drop.
Well, also, I could be getting confused, because this show makes the bold choice to have both Fraud Protection Man and Mr. Williams be played by the same actor.
Gotta cut budget somehow.
I mean, I guess. So, it's Mr. Williams, and they became one person to me because of the same actor. So I just said, man, you were correct that, I think I have characters mixed up, you're talking about, which we'll get to in the second episode. But... So there's fraud protection person, right? Which I'm not sure if you've ever dealt with fraud protection from your bank. As anyone that knows me can attest, I deal with fraud protection at my bank almost constantly. Because if I spend more than $30 online, they're like, this can't possibly be Chris. We better freeze
Which
your
is
car.
wild, because we go through the same bank, and, I deal with fraud protection every now and then, but it's typically oh, hey, you donated to this person who lives in EU, or, out of the country stuff, but it's I can, buy shit online whenever I want, and it's fine.
I swear that, the people I would deal with almost don't understand how e-commerce works, because they've been, there's a t-shirt company online that I love buying t-shirts from called The Yeti.
Oh, yeah,
right?
Yeti's great.
And The Yeti is based out of Illinois, right?
Yes.
And there's a different company, so GDQ,
yes.
Right? Yeti is based out of Illinois. I believe Fangamer is based out of Florida, right?
Yeah.
So, at the start of GDQ, I want to buy my GDQ merch, right?
Yes.
So I'll go to Fangamer, buy their pins, right?
Yes.
And then go to the Yeti and buy t-shirts and their pins,
yes.
Right? Card gets immediately frozen because they're there was a charge in Florida and then a charge in Illinois. They just do not understand how e-commerce works for me, and I don't understand why. Because not only you, but every other person I know that has an account with that bank also is nah, man, works fine for me.
Maybe you just slighted the wrong person.
Maybe I slighted God.
Chris, you can't slight somebody who's dead.
No, you can't slight somebody who never existed. But, so Mr. Williams was like, so Fire Protection Man is like, hey, Mr. Williams, $8, this gas station in downtown LA.
Yeah. No, it's actually a pharmacy, but yes, I looked it up.
But, okay. So Mr. Williams is like, yep, that was me. Went to go pick up some stuff. And Fire Protection Man person is just like, oh, perfect, sounds amazing. I hope you enjoyed that purchase. Now, 7 minutes later, did you make a charge in Albuquerque, New Mexico for $350 at a Best Buy?
And Mr. Williams is very, very shocked at this. And he's just like, no, I did not. Oh my God.
He's like, holy shit. But speaking of Albuquerque, do you know who Weird Al is? You better say yes.
Yeah, I know who Weird Al is.
Okay, have you heard his song Albuquerque? It's like one of my favorites.
No, I have not.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I know who Weird Al is. I don't follow him.
You're brain dead for Weird Al's the best. But we obviously can't play Albuquerque right now because like copyright, etc. But I think I can like read you the lyrics and it would have the
full effect.
The full effect. So this is what I imagined in my head when we learned that the second charge on Mr. Williams' card was placed in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Okay.
Right? I'm closing my eyes and envisioning.
Okay. Way back when I was just a little bitty boy, living in a box under the stairs in the corner of the basement of the house, half a block down the street from Jerry's Bait Shop. You know the place. Well, anyway, back then life was going swell, and everything was just peachy. Except, of course, for the undeniable fact that every single morning, my mother would make me a big bowl of sauerkraut for breakfast. Aw, big bowl of sauerkraut every single morning. It was driving me crazy. I said to my mom, hey mom, what's up with all the sauerkraut? And my dear sweet mother, she looked at me like a cow at an oncoming train. And she leaned right down next to me, and she said, it's good for you. And then she tied me to the wall and stuck a funnel in my mouth and forced fed me nothing but sauerkraut till I was 26 and a half years old. That's when I swore, someday I would get out of the basement and travel to a magical faraway place, where the sun is always shining and the air smells like warm root beer, and the towels are oh so fluffy, where the Shriners and the lepers play the ukuleles all day long, and anyone on the street will gladly shave your back for a nickel. Let me tell you people, it was long before my dream came true, because the very next day, a local radio station had this contest to see who could correctly guess the number of molecules in Leonard Nimoy's butt. I was off by 3, but I still won the grand prize. That's right, a first-class, one-way ticket to Albuquerque. You know, I'd never been on a real airplane before, and I gotta tell you, it was really great, except I had to sit between 2 large Albanian women with excruciatingly severe body odor, and the little kid in back kept throwing up the whole time. The flight attendants ran out of Dr. Pepper and salted peanuts, and the in-flight movie was Biodome with Pauly Shore, and oh yeah, 3 of the airplane engines burned out, we went into a tailspin and crashed into a hillside, and the plane exploded in a giant fireball and everybody died. Except for me. You know why? Because I had my tray table up and my seat back in the full upright position. Had my tray table up and my seat back in the full upright position. Had my tray table up and my seat back in the full upright position. So I crawled from the twisted, burning wreckage. I crawled on my hands and knees for 3 full days, dragging along my big leather suitcase and my garment bag, and my tenor saxophone and my 12-pound bowling ball, and my lucky autographed glow-in-the-dark snorkel. But I finally arrived at the world-famous Albuquerque Holiday Inn, where the towels are oh so fluffy, and you can eat your soup right out of the ashtrays if you wanna. It's okay, they're clean. Well, I checked into my room and turned down the AC, and I turned on the Spectravision. I'm about to eat the little chocolate mint in my pillow that I love oh so very much when suddenly there's a knock on the door. Well now, who could that be? I say, who is it? No answer. Who is it? There's no answer. Who is it? They're not saying anything. So finally, I go over and I open the door, and just as expected, it's some big fat hermaphrodite with a flock of seagulls haircut and only one nostril. Oh man, I hate when I'm right. So anyway, he bursts into my room and grabs my lucky snorkel, and I'm like, hey, you can't have that. That snorkel's been just like a snorkel to me. And he's like, tough. And I'm like, give it. And he's like, make me. And I'm like, okay. So I grabbed his leg, and he grabbed my esophagus, and I bit off his ear, and he chewed off my eyebrows. And I took out his appendix, and he gave me a colonic irrigation. Yes, indeed, you better believe it. And somehow, in the middle of it all, the phone got knocked off the hook. And 20 seconds later, I heard a familiar voice. You know what it said? I'll tell you what it said. It said, if you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try again. If you need help, hang up and then dial your operator. If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try again. If you need help, hang up and dial your operator. Well, to cut a long story short, he got away with my snorkel. And I made a solemn vow right then and there that I would not rest. I would not sleep for an instant until the one-nostriled man was brought to justice. But at first, I decided to buy some donuts. Are you still following along?
Yeah.
Okay. So I got in my car, and I drove over to the donut shop, and I walked up to the guy behind the counter, and he says, yeah, what do you want? And I said, do you have any glazed donuts? And he says, no, we're out of glazed donuts. And I said, oh, do you have any jelly donuts? And he said, no, we're out of jelly donuts. And I said, have any Bavarian cream-filled donuts? He said, no, we're out of Bavarian cream-filled donuts. I said, got any cinnamon rolls? He said, no, we're out of cinnamon rolls. I said, you got any apple fritters? He said, no, we're out of apple fritters. And I said, do you have any bear claws? And he said, wait a minute, I'll go check. No, we're out of bear claws. Well, so in that case, what do you have? And he says, well, all I got right now is this one box of 12 starving, crazed weasels. And I said, okay, I'll take that. So he hands me the box, I open up the lid, and the weasels jump out, then immediately latch onto my face and start biting me all over. And oh man, they were going nuts. They were tearing me apart. You know, I think it was right then that a little ditty started going to my head. I believe it went something like this. Get him off me. Get him off me. No, get him off. Get him off. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh, get them off me. Oh God. I ran to the street with these flesh-eating weasels all over my face, waving my arms around and just running and running and running like a constipated wiener dog. And as luck would have it, that's exactly when I ran into the girl of my dreams. Her name was Zelda. She was a calligraphy enthusiast with a slight overbite and hair the color of strange peaches. I'll never forget the first thing she said to me. She said, you got weasels on your face. And that's when I knew it was true love. We were inseparable after that. Oh, we ate together. We bathed together. We even shared the same piece of mint-flavored dental floss. The world was our burrito. So we got married and we bought a house. We had 2 beautiful children, Nathaniel and Superfly. We were so very, very happy. Oh yeah. Then one fateful night, Zelda said to me, hey, Sweetie Pumpkin, do you want to join the Columbia Record Club? And I said, whoa, hold on, baby. I'm not ready for that kind of commitment. So we broke up, and I never saw her again. But that's just the way things go in Albuquerque. Anyway, things started really looking up for me, because about a week later, Hunter, you still there?
Yeah, I'm chilling, don't worry.
I finally achieved my lifelong dream. That's right, I got a part-time job at the Sizzler. I even made Employee of the Month after I put out that grease fire with my face. Oh yeah, everybody was pretty jealous of me after that. I was getting a lot of attitude. Okay, like one time, I was at the parking lot trying to remove my excess earwax with a golf pencil, when I see this guy Marty trying to carry a big old foot up the stairs up by himself. So I say to him, hey, you want me to help you with that? And Marty, he just rolls his eyes and goes, no, I want you to cut off my arms and legs with a chainsaw. So I did. And then he gets all indignant on me, and he's like, hey man, I was being sarcastic. Well, that's great. How was I supposed to know? I'm not a mind reader for crying out loud. Besides, now he has a cute nickname, Torso Boy. So what's he complaining about? Say, that reminds me of another amusing anecdote. This guy comes up to me on the street and said he hasn't had a bite in 3 days. Well, I knew what he meant, but just to be funny, I took a big bite out of his jugular vein. And he's yelling and screaming and bleeding all over. And I'm like, hey man, don't you get it? But he just keeps rolling on the sidewalk, bleeding and screaming. You know, just completely missing the irony of the whole situation. Man, some people can't take a joke, you know. Wait, where was I? Kind of lost my train of thought. Okay. Anyway, I know it's been a kind of roundabout way of saying it, but I guess the whole point I'm trying to make here is, I hate sauerkraut. That's all I'm really trying to say. And by the way, if one day you happen to wake up and find yourself in an existential quandary, full of loathing and self-doubt, and racked in the pain of isolation of your pitiful, meaningless existence, at least you can take a small bit of comfort knowing that somewhere out in this crazy mixed-up old universe of ours, there's a little place called, and then he just says Albuquerque over and over and over, but I don't want to drag this out any longer than it has to be, so I'm not going to say the part where he says Albuquerque over and over. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds great.
So
it's actually a really nice story. I think it taught me a lot. I mean, I personally love sauerkraut. I really like sauerkraut.
Me too.
So I don't understand him on that point, but I understand weasels on your face.
And Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Makes sense to me. But speaking of Albuquerque, Mr. Williams was not in Albuquerque.
No.
He did not teleport from LA to Albuquerque. As much as I can tell, this show is, grounded in reality, so Mr. Williams does not have, teleportation powers.
So here's the thing. I really thought this show, with how it started and how it led up, I really thought it was, going to be a sitcom kind of funny show. Mr. Williams forgets that he has a daughter going to school in Albuquerque. Clumsy dad. And, she had to buy, a new TV or repair a laptop at the Best Buy there. But that's not the way that it goes,
No. No. After the fraud protection person, well, one, he kind of assumed that, that Mr. Williams did make that charge. Fraud protection person.
He seemed pretty excited.
Yeah, he's not an idiot, right? So, it turns out, fraud protection person has a sniper rifle trained on the man who did make the charge.
Yeah, we hear a gun cock. We hear...
Yeah.
And we watch as the worker lifts the gun to his shoulder.
Yeah, and it's just it's a beautiful day. This clear weather. I have a clear shot. Just waiting for your word, Mr. Williams.
And very confused, Mr. Williams just goes, what? And then it cuts back to the worker, and their voice, now escalating, they proclaim, I said we have our sights on the person, sir. Would you like us to take the shot? We have a clean one. Yet another cut to Mr. Williams. Still confused, but also looking uneasy, he begins to say, I don't understand, but then quickly cut off by another transition to the worker, now yelling, baring their teeth. The worker exclaims, would you like us to take the shot, sir?
And he's like, no, I just want to cancel my credit card.
Just send me a new card, please.
And fraud protection man, always the consummate professional, is like, okay, sir, your new card will be there in 3 to 5 business days.
But their face, like, before they say this, they had like a really evil look on their face, like they were excited. But then there's a slight pause with the eerie music kind of plays, and then their face perks right back up. And it's really good acting, actually, for one man to be able to play these two characters.
Agreed. And fraud protection person 100% wanted to take that shot.
Oh,
they were like, yeah. I've been waiting all fucking day for this. I flew out to Albuquerque, New Mexico. No, I'm taking this fucking shot.
We said that Mr. Williams doesn't have any superpowers. What's stopping Mr. Fraud Protection Worker from not having superpowers?
You see, I think him having superpowers would actually take away from the narrative. I think that it's much more entertaining if Fraud Protection Person in this bank just like goes above and beyond to carry out this order to make sure that Mr. Williams' information is protected.
Well, the ending scene of the show, we cut back with one final cut back to Mr. William. He takes his AirPods out because yes, Mr. William, AirPods.
Flexing.
Yeah, gotta flex on them poor people. He probably could have just let the $350 charge slide, honestly. But anyway, he looks exhausted from this call. He thought he
let it slide.
He thought it was gonna be a normal credit card call. It turned out it was something way more. But he looks and he goes, man, that's a really good bank. And the episode ends. So, do you want to give your final thoughts first?
Yeah, sure. I think overall, I would definitely watch. If this were ever on television, I would give episode 2 a shot. Regardless of the 2-episode rule, right? I would be like, oh damn, like one man basically did this one man show this entire performance, such a range of acting, right? I think I would be forced to check out episode 2.
Yeah. For his sake,
Yeah. So, what are your final thoughts on episode 1?
So, like, I thought it was really, really good, and the acting was, like, amazing, considering it was done by one person. We already talked about that. I thought the musical score was fantastic. We didn't talk about it much in the show, but whenever the worker is getting all, like, devilish and wants to shoot this guy, it plays, like, a really eerie undertone music, and I thought it, like, really added to the scene.
Delightfully devilish.
Delightfully devilish. But like I said earlier, we go into the show kind of thinking it's going to be, like, a sitcom drama where, like, you know, the characters never communicate anything, and it's going to, like, maybe blossom into, like, a love affair between, like, these two, like, the fraud protection worker and Mr. Williams. And Mr. Williams forgot he had a daughter in Albuquerque, going to school there, or whatever. But no, it turns into an episode that makes me feel like it's more of the Die Hard universe, whenever the worker's, like, preparing to take a shot, you know? But luckily, Mr. Williams is easily able to talk the worker out of like, taking the scammer's life and just issue him a new card.
Yeah.
But, however, pause at the end, like, when the worker, like, goes from being devilish to, like, you know, going back to, like, retail worker.
Yeah.
Like, really makes me think that this could turn to, like, a Die Hard X Terminator, money and robbery all mixed with ruthless robots universe.
Okay.
But I guess we'll have to see, because we have to watch the second episode, you know? But regardless, I think I'd be hooked. I think I would have to watch the next episode. Well, I mean,
we have to watch 2 episodes because we are the co-pilots.
Yes, we are the co-pilots. But I'm saying, if I wasn't, like, strapped to my computer chair and forced to do this...
What do you mean? We're in the cockpit.
Oh, I took the seat out of the plane and, like, put my rolly chair in the cockpit.
I was balling.
We haven't hit any turbulence, so I haven't, like, rolled anywhere yet. But, like, it'll happen.
But
if I wasn't forced to do that, I would watch the next episode.
Yeah, because we are the co-pilots. This is our podcast, Copilots Review, where we review the first 2 episodes of the show.
We put all the love and effort into editing every week. So
yeah, which is actually a natural segue into our second episode, which I think the title is It's the Credit Card Fraud Department Again. What do you think the title is?
I think the title is Hi, Mr. Williams, It's the Credit Card Fraud Department Again. Because as we kind of discussed, the title's everything in that nice shade of blue. And he says, in the title of the episode, he says, Hi, Mr. Williams, It's the Credit Card Fraud Department Again. All in that shade of blue. But if we wanted to get really technical, all the subtitles in this episode are blue, so the title of the episode could just be everything that the worker says. So, like, please contact us and let us know what you...
Well, please write in to the email. It'll be linked in the description. Please write in to us and tell us what you think the title is. I mean, this person has already put forth such a, like, demanding art piece where he plays all of the roles. Very, very well, I may add. So, I mean, I don't think it's as I don't think it's beneath him to be so avant-garde that the title card actually exists throughout the entire episode, and it's everything that the crowd protection person says.
I think it'd really give, like, the Russo brothers or George Lucas a run for their money if he decided to do that.
You think so? Like one of the all-time greats?
I definitely think so.
You think Disney let him, like, direct a Star Wars?
I don't think he could direct one Star Wars. I think he would have to direct a crossover movie between the Star Wars and maybe an Avenger, where, like, you know, where Doctor Strange does his, like, little sling ring thing. I think he accidentally does it into a new universe, into the Star Wars universe. So like, but all these characters are played by, I don't know, by old Mark Hamill. So you got, like, Captain America Mark Hamill. You got, hold on.
So you wouldn't think, because, you know, it's Evan Williams. His bread and butter is him playing all the roles.
Oh, acting and directing. Oh, fuck.
He's just like...
You're right. I think he could pull it off.
He's like a regular Jon Favreau. He's gonna act, he's gonna direct, he has it all.
Dude. Can we get a... Okay. If we're gonna have It's Evan Williams act and direct every single person in this movie, though, we have to have Jon Favreau make an appearance. As, like, an homage to
he
Jon
has to play... No, he has to play himself. He has to be Jon Favreau. He has...
In the Star Wars, he has Jon Favreau's Star Wars universe, and then he has Happy.
Like Jon Favreau has to line up and be like, "It's me, Jon Favreau. You are the single greatest director I've ever seen. It's Evan Williams."
Thank you. And then he walks off street. But, like, it's not like he, like, floats through space or anything. He, like, literally just walks. Like, you can tell it's a green screen.
Yes.
Like,
we were on the same page. Now, I laughed really hard, had to take a drinky to settle my throat, right?
Yeah.
So I want to take this opportunity of us being on this podcast that we host 3 times a month together to put you on blast.
Okay, hit me with it.
I took a big drink of a red Powerade, right?
Yeah.
Now, listeners, I want you to understand that Hunter, my regular co-pilot and frequent host of the show,
and best friend and brother,
says that red Powerades are too spicy.
Okay, so orange Powerades and Gatorades give me heartburn.
You were too weak for the power.
Okay, yeah, I need some extra aid. The Powerade is not enough. I would need Powerade. But anyway.
Powerade. Please continue.
So the orange ones do that to me, but the red ones make my mouth, like, feel extra dry when I drink them. Like, they're kind of spicy.
So...
Like, that's the best way I can describe it. They're not, like, pepper spicy. It just makes it feel like 1,000 horses are galloping on my tongue. Tiny, tiny horses. Like, you know the scene from The Lion King where, like, Mufasa gets, like, thrown down into, like, the stampede? It feels like a molecular level stampede is happening.
Hunter?
And the Powerade is Scar and my tongue is Mufasa.
Hunter?
Yes.
1, the Powerade would be the animals. And 2, what animals is he trampled by?
Isn't it, like, zebra?
Ooh, you're looking for wildebeest. That's going to cost you 500 points.
That's okay. I've never seen Lion King.
Excuse me?
I've never seen The Lion King.
Listeners, please email us if for a very special event we should watch the first 2 Lion King movies on this, our podcast, Copilots.
Because everybody knows it's Lion King Episode 1 and Lion King Episode 2. So.
But back to the show at hand. Sorry, we had a very brief tangent there. So, fraud protection person returns. He's in the opening scene, as does Mr. Williams.
Yes, of course. Always. It's a classic fucking style. Iconic even.
And this time, though, there is a charge on Mr. Williams' card for $500 on a website that's called, I shit you not, blowupdolls.com.
Hold on. Have either of us looked up this website?
No, let's do it right now.
I'm on incognito tab.
I almost typed it into a regular tab. Holy shit.
Click here to buy blowupdolls.com as your website name.
Oh.
Related links are all about adult things, yes, but nobody owns blowupdolls.com. Hold on, what if I click here to buy
Someone does, they want you to buy it from them.
No, it's just from GoDaddy.
How much is it?
Hold on, I gotta put in my name.
Oh my god, if we... no, stop. Okay. That site seems sketchy as hell, and I'm not gonna let you put in your name into what could be be a fake GoDaddy thing.
Let's just go to GoDaddy.com. It's available, damn. But it's a premium domain.
Oh, okay.
For $40,000.
Holy shit.
Too much.
Hey, that could be like the first goal if we ever start a Patreon for this, our podcast. It could be...
Oh, blowupdolls.com redirects to copilots.com.
So, Copilots, that's simple.
Copilots.
Okay, but once again, sorry for that brief tangent, listeners.
We never do this, ever.
No, ever. So, there was a charge on Mr. Williams' card for $500 on blowupdolls.com, which we now know is a fictitious website, which makes sense because it's for a show.
Yes.
So...
Mr. Williams seems a little, upset that the credit card company's calling again, considering this episode takes place on December 14th, so, only 4 days later.
Yeah.
Which means that he got his card, pretty quickly, actually.
I would not describe him as upset. I personally would describe him as shifty. He's like, no, that definitely wasn't me. No.
Yeah, true. He's a little shifty. But yeah, so he looks shifty. He's like, no, I didn't do that. And he's concerned. There's a slight pause before it cuts back to the worker. And then the same devilish look overtakes the worker. And he states, we didn't think so, sir. The intense music sets in again, starts to play, and the worker continues. He says, we have the person suspected of fraud in our custody right now.
We're going above and beyond.
We're going to take away a digit.
A finger.
Every day that he doesn't return the money.
And then, once they're out of digits, they'll move on to something else.
But we don't figure out what that is, because Mr. Williams cuts him off.
And he fezzes up. Mr. Williams bought himself a
blow-up doll.
An inflatable artificial romantic partner from blowupdolls.com.
Which, there's nothing wrong. Men's sex toys are 100%
valid. We see you.
They're 100% valid. So do not, you should not be kink shamed. You should not be sex toy shamed. But it's also very important in this scene, we actually hear a new voice.
I mean,
right?
Time out.
We hear the person.
Time out. I mean, while we should not shame anybody, I just think I have to state for the record that I pull a ton of tail because people dig podcast hosts, and it's me, Chris, one of the hosts of Copilots Review, and because I'm one of the regular hosts of Copilots Review, I do not need sex dolls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Continue.
I am in a committed relationship.
Yeah,
so.
Continue.
But anyway, it's very important that in this scene we actually get to hear a whole new voice, and it's hard to tell if it's Evan Williams acting or not, or if it's an actual whole new person, but we hear somebody else off stream talk.
I think it's Evan Williams.
Okay. If so, he's very good at changing his voice.
Yes, I agree. I think he has that range. But he's like, oh God, please no, I have a family, oh my God. So by making the charge and being embarrassed and saying no, he lied to Fraud Protection Man. And
it's bad.
As a consequence of that,
what happens is, he goes, visibly upset. The worker's like, that would mean you lied to me, sir. Mr. Williams goes, it's because I did. I lied to you. I was embarrassed. And now he begs to let the man go. He goes, I don't know who he is. He has nothing to do with it. The worker pauses and then angrily states, okay. But just then we hear a shriek from off camera. The same man who said he had a family. We hear him go, no! And then we hear gunshots as the worker raises his arm and
blam blam
to shoot.
Blam blam blam.
Blammo. He started blasting.
Yeah, 100%. Mr. Williams is horrified at this. Just absolutely horrified. But then, just when I thought the show couldn't get any more graphic, it's then implied that Fraud Protection Man is watching Mr. Williams.
Yeah.
Because, now, I need you to say what you need about this scene right now, because I'm about to bring up the next scene and about how it completely kills the tone of the episode.
Okay. So, cuts to Mr. Williams, right? Just kind of sitting there. He's like, what's that? And then it cuts back to the worker. He goes, well, have a really good rest of your day. Ignores the question. And then he goes, and by the way, that's a really cute dog.
And that's what I want to talk about, because it cuts to this dog that is obviously not next to Mr. Williams and was recorded on a completely different camera.
yeah. But the dog is pretty cute.
It is a very cute dog, but maybe we shouldn't let it's Evan Williams direct a Star War.
Don't you fucking say that.
Or a Vinger, because man, that dog shot sucked shit.
Don't you say. I think what happened was the people who were previously going to do the show before It's Evan Williams took over had that scene and he decided he wanted to use it. He didn't have the time. He already doesn't have the budget to hire more actors. I don't think he had the time to hire a dog actor. You know what I'm saying?
So are you saying that we are currently watching the It's Evan Williams cut of My Bank with Credit Card Fraud and it's the credit card fraud again?
Yes, I am.
And that he kind of had to just splice together existing footage after the director stepped out and he was like, okay, I guess it's my time to shine.
Yeah, everybody stepped out.
Actor and director.
Everybody stepped out.
And so he was actor, director, producer, he was all of it.
Yes, because everybody stepped out. The CW was going to throw this away.
The CW,
okay?
Okay.
And he stepped in and was like, I'm going to take this over.
He got to the end, and he was like, "Ah, fuck, I forgot to refill my dog. Oh, thank God I had the footage."
He said, "Thank God they left this floppy disk here."
With this footage from 1994.
Of a dog.
He went down to the CW archives. It was like, stock footage, dog. God, I can't breathe, but...
They have Damon, not dog!
They have Damon Donuts. Where's the fucking dog? It was under P for pooch.
Fuck.
No, but,
That's why I couldn't find it under the canine tab.
So, what did you think of the second episode?
Okay, I thought this episode was a lot more action-packed, and the acting definitely didn't falter at all.
Yeah.
The music was yet again fucking phenomenal. I would go as far as to say that It's Evan Williams is composing the entire score.
I mean, I don't think it's beneath him. He obviously has the chops for it.
Agreed.
So...
But...
Yeah.
With the workers' lack of sympathy in this episode, I feel as though it's really backing up my ruthless robots theory. And moving forward, I'm excited to see if the show pulls off a No Country for Old Men and, like, has Mr. Williams, our main character, die at the hands of the worker, or if Mr. Williams will be able to put an end to the worker's diabolical killing. And I would for sure watch more of this show.
Spoiler for No Country for Old Men.
What?
No, but I agree. I would also watch this show. I don't think I can even say anything else about it because of what you said. But no, I agree. I think overall, I would definitely continue watching it. Maybe for a return flight, we can watch a few more episodes. Yeah, but I just want to say, I'm Chris, one of the regular hosts. So you've heard this in other episodes, but I want to go ahead and plug again that you can find me on Twitter at BuriedComic7. And I occasionally stream on twitch.tv/BuriedComic7. I'm BuriedComic7 on all my socials. And how about you?
I'm Hunter. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at HunterClass. That's Hunter, C-L-A-I-S-E. And then my Twitch, I'm twitch.tv/Fallopian Golem, where I stream. This past weekend, I just wrapped up a very long streamathon to help raise money for my fiancé and I's wedding. It was very, very hype. And other than that, you can email us at newcopilotsreview@gmail.com. You can join the Discord. Go to copilots.simplecast.com.
Links will be in the description.
All in the show notes. Leave a review on iTunes. We'll read your reviews.
Yeah,
we'll do that.
We always respond to emails. We're really great about that. But I guess the only thing that's left for us to say is thank you for flying with us, and please fly again soon. Fools, you son of a bitch.
We fucking got him! Got him! Oh shit! It looks like our fucking listeners are gonna have a big old case of ligma. Ligma balls! Oh!